abantu mababininzi
Okay. Yes.
We are asking the political principals to sit this side. I'm not a political principal. Yes, why? Because the cameras but if they want to if they need we can ask you just brief one on one. So you can have
Can I just go?
Just to this house. You can sit.
Can I bother you? Thank you.
Hashtag Central London. Yeah.
Yes, I left. I didn't know I was reshuffled. So we'll have to have it. So it has not been the name. Yeah. Yes. Arrest them. Yes. Yeah.
Oh wow, I get the faint card, right? Yeah, every time.
Yes. That guy is in jail.
How many guys?
I forget. Let me just tell you that.
So now I'm just gonna listen to It's supposed to be 9, but I also wrote 9.
Canada. Yeah, Canada. Yeah. The day is here. The day is here. And I can just sit and check on my I'm a guy. Because I know, because I think you say what I think you say till it comes back to me. It's not good to get us. I was like, so let me see all this thing. I didn't know. The thing is, I think you were going to say this. So my three are just speaking the same thing. Took those pictures. Now I'm tweet it. He said he would tweet it. Can we send it? But can you send that one? Can you different, ne?
Yeah.
Getting though.
Wait on the packets.
Finance. So, that way. Oh man. Oh man.
I'm just retweeting, but I'm jealous.
I'm jealous like Chiba. I'm looking for a window right now. This looking for a window.
We gotta go to next
Place. Imagine how we can do it. Let's go that side.
see. Maji, how do you feel about this?
Eh?
Feel about this?
When I supposed to make my class?
Life, Bibles.
Nna ke batla dijo.
So when I buy
Okay.
how I eat it? Can we eat? 6 minutes.
At the minute to tell.
Wait, bye.
Yo, I'm joining you, man.
the environment, the problem is on your left, but you will not know. Because this is UWC, but they have specialized cows here that they do research on. Now, every time we hit one of those, there's a problem. And that's why sometimes some of the vegetation we cannot cut. Only a meter away from the fence is an agreement with UWC. Yeah, it's nature reserve. So they do some conservation. So we used our own, a contractor for the OHTE, that was Masia, but we used our own payway guys plus Transnet. We have a partnership with Transnet. There's a rail division they call Transnet Rail Network. They are a construction division. So we got them in to come and assist us because the type of work that they do is we do maintenance work in PRASA. Then they do construction work. That's why we got them to come and assist us. So you will see from the past station that we are at, it's Bella. Red is not a construction site. The next one we are going to is Unibel. Red is not a construction site. But when we get to Unibel, please look on your right and on your left you will just see UWC. But on your right you will see new developments, Minister, and why this train is really important for that community.
And all the development came after
PRASA does maintenance.
I brought you the special guy.
Thank you.
Explain to them.
No, all right. Thank you. How are you? Can't complain. Chairperson, I see. Chairperson and the group CEO, I see. Members of the board. Thank you. And the MMC and the MEC. Say, how are you? Can't complain. We are now approaching Bela Station, Unibel. To Strand, platform 4. Estia River, platform 4. Stellenbosch, platform 4. If you're going to Kraaifontein, you used to stand on platform 4. That was how Belleville was constructed long time ago. So the reason for that is that the city had believed back then that the growth of the city will be on the Capetown side of the city. So you had 5 platforms that were facing Cape Town.
Where are we now?
Now we are at Unibel.
Yeah.
This is Unibel. There is a lot of development on our left. This is UWC, the university campus. Then on our right, it's all of these developments that are going to use these trains. High-rise buildings, lots of beautiful places. There is a station development here that we have taken out on the market. It's just to link what is happening this side with Unibel and the campus here. Just to integrate the station into the environment. Oh, the mic. Thank you very much. So, this is the work that we have done. All of this station, thank you, no problem. This station is now completed, Minister, and we are integrating it into the development behind us. So there is a lot, there's a taxi rank in front of us. So this is a public transport interchange. However, looking at it, it is not going to suffice when the trains are running at full capacity. It is small, but it is something that we will discuss with the local partners in the city, just to see how best we can improve it. So we are going to the next station, which is Pentec Station. Pentec Station is very important. In front of us, we are going to pass a bridge. It's Symphony Way Bridge that we had to do in collaboration with the city. That bridge had to be widened in order to serve a new development as well here. So PRASA had to do the top structure where we are traveling right now. So that also was what delayed us in January this year. That's why we couldn't launch earlier this year, because we had to complete the bridge work here. Then after Pentec, we will be then going through to a station called Sarepta. In Sarepta, there is development in terms of industry. Now, Sarepta is an important station because it takes people from home to work. So the industrial side starts at Sarepta, Belleville. Then when you are at Belleville, you can do an interchange to the 4 stations afterwards, Brackenfell, Aikenfontein, that way. But this line, it's extremely important for students. There are 2 tertiary institutions. We have just passed UWC. We are now going to see Pentec. That is why it's important for us as PRASA to have fought so hard to get this phase right, Minister. So the work that we did here, I'm happy that you have seen something at Bontierville and you have seen something at Lewistown. Minister, the stations are constructed from bottom up, meaning we remove the tiles because they were stealing cable. So in stealing cable, they just damage the surface. So now when you damage the surface, unfortunately in Capetown, you have winter rains. Now the winter rains create their own paths and they dig this platform even further. That's actually the work that we are doing at Bontierville. It is not easy, it's civil work. That's why, Minister, don't be surprised when you hear that the service, the way we are going to run it, at least for the next 2 weeks, is that at off-peak, from 10 o'clock to about 2 o'clock, we will stop the service because we need heavy machinery to go into those particular platforms and compact them. It's not that we are cancelling the service, but it's just physical construction work that we are facing. There's the, yeah, hey, we are pushing. We are at Pentec. We are at Pentec. This is, for me, it's a very wonderful place. As a student, we used to play soccer around here. I came around there from UCT. We were not good at UCT. I am sorry to say. We were not good. Pentec used to whoop us. That was not right. So there's also, I love the place, but I'm also traumatized. Thank you. The final works, because everybody has seen what we have done. There is final works that need to be done on this particular line, but the final works involve heavy machinery. So the heavy machinery that we will be bringing is what they call a screener. So we'll be bringing a screener and we'll also be bringing a tamping service. The reason you do that is currently we are traveling at this line at 30 kilometers an hour. Once we put the screener through, we should be able to lift this line to its design standard at 90 kilometers an hour. And because of its topology, this line is very straight. We will be able to run the blue trains at 120 kilometers an hour in this section. So that's why we are bringing in just the screeners. We are not waiting for when the signaling is fixed because that is in progress. But we are bringing in also the heavy machinery to ensure that the line is not really recovered. The line is actually modernized. Because recovering a line, I would have done what was here before, and that's not what we did. So when we were passing Bela, I was feeling a bit, I didn't feel a bit good because I was in the wrong coach. So I was just showing whoever is there. This is the substation at Bela. It's PRASA's substation. It is not ESCOM. It's huge. The reason we did that, Minister, is so that we are able to power the new trains between Langa and Bela, and then between Bela and Belleville. So the new trains, this line is at the design standard of the new trains and not the old one. Yes, we tell people we are recovering the service, but we are not just recovering it without the new service or the new trains in mind. Thank you, sir. We are passing Pentec. This is the old dumping site. This is the water treatment plant. This side, yes, it is. Yeah, just it's okay that we cannot see it. We are now going to take a bend. Once we take a bend, then we are at Sarepta. On our right, there's industries that are developing at Sarepta, and these are the industries that we are bringing the workers to. So yesterday, we have had for several weeks contacts with the industries, the commerce part of the city. So we have had the discussions with all of the sub-councils in this area. We met with the sub-councils. The most important thing, maybe we didn't say this enough, the workers that you saw that were wearing orange, that were standing at Langa, those workers are actually community members that we have hired as part of this project. In this particular phase alone, we created 110 work opportunities for the people that are wearing those orange overalls. However, in each and every station, we also have 20 work opportunities that we have created for each and every station. Of the 4 stations, Minister, we are done with the 4 stations. The big composition in terms of the work opportunities now is at Lewistown and at Bonteheuwel. We are in discussion with councillors. I'm happy there are some members from the city of Cape Town. They know this to be true. With sub-councillors from Guguletu, Bonteheuwel, or Bonteheuwel, Guguletu, and we are also going to the Krizani side. But for now, because work is going towards Nyanga, we have already started hiring people there, Minister. The people are starting on the 1st of August. In terms of the work that the people are doing, we have a lot of PRASA is a specialized environment, unfortunately. So we have people that are doing general work. There are people that are doing electrical work. For the buildings, we have carpenters, people that are rebuilding, the electrifying the buildings, and people that are doing the plumbings for us. All of that particular labor, we have hired as PRASA a main contractor, and all of that, we source it from the communities we are operating in. Now this is Sarepta. This is Sarepta station. This is the one last station before Belleville. So now we have all of the Kellogg's have set up here. As we take a bend forward, you will see also on your right, there's a new bridge that the city developed during COVID. We worked with them right in front of us here. That is connecting a new development here on the right side. So there's a lot of interworking that PRASA does. Specifically, when we come to communities.
Why does the train move for shit like this?
Yes, no, we did this. No, this one is driving technique, so we will improve. Once the drivers are back on this line, it will improve. It's just how you start. There you need to, because we don't have, it's like an accelerator. Yes, when you're leaving the clutch too quickly, the car jacks. Is the same. It's the same with us.
The driver is...
No, not a Lena. Yeah, the terrain, remember, the train's terrains are not the same. Ne? Where we are now, you will feel when we take a turn towards Belleville, it's an incline. So the driver needs to learn to adjust to that. We call that road knowledge. So what we do, after we have fixed a line, the drivers will work with us for 2 weeks. But here, I was sincerest apology for this morning. There was an operational incident, but we recovered because we are running trains in this line now, Minister. In other words, whatever happens, if there's a fault now, there will be a faulty that will go and fix the train. Just like us in the morning when we were told there's a fault at Pela, we went to Pela. That's why I came with the train, but I came with the train to you, Minister, from Pela, having fixed everything. This is not to say, it's not the norm. It's not that this is what happens every day. But what we were trying to say is, when it does happen, PRASA employees are on the ground. Because this is us. We have to respond when there's an incident, and we try and recover that. So the most unfortunate thing that we are working through now, that the minister will hear a lot about, is when ESCOM is on stage 6, we have discovered that our system is really vulnerable. The reason for that, Minister, is that stage 6 has a 4-hour gap between the load sheddings. So what happens in the first cycle? Our batteries are able to carry the system. But the batteries, they discharge, then they need 8 hours from from when the power comes back until the next discharge cycle. But unfortunately, because you have this load shedding and the next one, then we started getting impacted. We now are running, as internally in PRASA, we are running now an internal project with our own staff just to try and reticulate our network better, Minister. In other words, from this substation that we saw at Bela, we now know if Bela is going to be off, which other substation can feed the section. So we need to ensure that Langa substation is working and fully working and intact, and Kasa's Flay in front of us as well. So this it wasn't a requirement before because we never reached stage 6. But it affects us when it is a particular stage, and we are trying to work with that vulnerability. Thank you, sir. We are on our way to Belleville. Ooh. Okay. Labians. Nice areas, sir.
So what is nice about this?
No. It's the thank you, Minister. It's the area where I wish to live. And they told me, no, Raymond, your dollar does not reach. So we need to push. The 2 lines, Minister, that you see on the other side, those are the Kales River lines. They go from Belleville to Easter River and to Strand. Now, the reason I'm mentioning this to you, Minister, is that when you will see the presentation from PRASA, corridor is that one that is targeted. But that does not mean we are not going towards Kailicha and Mitchell's Plain. But in terms of sequencing the corridors, this is the next corridor that is coming on stream. In terms of this is now the line all the way to Strand that we need to recover. Because now we need to connect these 2 communities. The communities, we have the communities that are living on the central line. Now we are connecting them to the communities that are living on the northern line. Now the northern line has 2 main areas. They have the Strand line and the Stellenbosch line. This is the 2 main areas, or the first area. The second area is if you are traveling straight through to Kraaifontein and Wellington. So this train will be able to take people all the way to Belleville so that they can connect with the Wellington line. But the community still doesn't connect to the Strand line because now this is our next project. That's how we are doing it, Minister.
At what point will the train run at 90?
This train, as soon as we are finished screening the areas, then the train will be able to run at 90. We still...
At the present moment, now as to the trial, it's running at 30.
At 30 kilometers an hour. It's also the condition of the railway safety regulator. So that at the end of these trials, we are going to submit reports to the railway safety regulator on all incidents that have occurred on the line. And we are going to there's a special machine that we are going to put. It measures the OHTE and the ground. It's not like a talk like Raymond.
What is that machine called?
It's called the TGV. It's Track Geometry Inspection Vehicle. So TGV. It's TGV. This track geometry vehicle. So that vehicle just comes in every ruler length, 30 centimeters. It takes a measurement. The tracks, the OHTE, the OHTE, and then it gives a report. You can't argue with the machine. When the machine says the track is out, the track is out. But when we submit to the RSR and we say the machine says the track is in standard, then there's no discussion, Minister. Everybody knows the track is in standard. So that's the machine that is coming in August. So we had the last run, unfortunately, we just ran now in May.
Yeah, can you fix the driver?
The drivers. Yes, I did. The minister, he knows you are in here. We panic when the minister comes. To South Africans that are inside here, we can apologize. If I do something to Raymond, they're like, what did you do to Raymond? But how do we tell South Africans we did something to their minister? We can't. So we are extra careful, double careful. But minister, it is going to improve. The type of environment that we are working in, minister, is that PRASA is a service that is being recovered. The unfortunate business is that we then need to consistently indicate also to our commuters the service that you are receiving in terms of running time. From Langa or from Belleville to Langa, you are going to take 45 minutes. Then our commuters know, no, Raymond, you used to take about 25 minutes. What's happening? So as we improve the service in terms of the screening and then running that TGIV machine, we will be able to go back to the standard that the people are used to. So as we introduce it, we are consistently communicating to our commuters that this is the nature of the service and we are recovering it. At this stage, we call it limited service. Now we are in the industrial area. On our right, it's our Transnet colleagues. They have a big yard here. Everything in the Western Cape operates from this yard. They come from the harbor to the yard and then they take everything away from the yard. So it's a very difficult environment as well, Minister, but this is why Minister has us here to look after it. So sometimes things do not work as fast as we wish, but we are gaining that momentum with returning the trains. This one, it's been a fight. The 3rd of November 2019 was the last time where we came, they saw a train. So if you see a 5-year-old child, the 5-year-old child hasn't seen a train because the last time we ran a train, they were 2 years old. So yesterday when we were putting the trains there were lots of them that were running because we did test these trains. We ran, it's not revenue service, but we were running our safety trains just to also satisfy the railway regulator that everything is in place. So we got the go-ahead from the regulator. Minister, we are here because they trolleyed with us yesterday, and then in the afternoon, having trolleyed with us, they gave us the go-ahead to put the train set in. Now, why are we stopping?
Where are we?
We are just before Belleville Station.
In no man's land.
In no man's land. It shouldn't be. So we are being authorized, Minister, just to enter the Belleville complex.
It's manual, right?
Yes, sir. It's manual authorization.
Because of
The damage signaling here at Belleville.
so
It's tough.
are you working on the signal?
Yes, sir. We are working on the signal. We had placed an order with Thales for the spares. We are just awaiting for the spares to arrive, and then our internal team will do the repairs. So it's the unfortunate business that a majority of what Thales installed is actually found in South Africa, except for the Excel counters that they have installed, because the Excel counters are a safety asset. So they only manufacture them there in Germany. So when somebody damages the Excel counter, we wait for it to come to South Africa. But the majority of what is installed is really local, and that's why we are able to fix it ourselves.
So the core intelligence is an IP that belongs to the French on that, including the Excel counters. We used to have the old Excel counters.
Yes, sir.
Back in the South African railways. So with the newer ones, whether it's Bombardier, it's Thales, it's Siemens, and Alstom as it goes, it's an IP that belongs to them, and we have to acquire from them. Yeah. No, take over, Ray. Come on.
I'm gonna start singing. My panic buttons are very easily pressed. Mr. Lorenzo, I see. It's been a struggle, Minister. Now I just need to try and find out from my colleague. He's on the other side. There we go. Yeah, I could feel it. Yeah, you said it. Minister was right. Driver. Yeah, the driver. I'm going to tell him, Minister, we're going to meet him just before he runs away. I need to tell him, please come, the Minister wants to see you. Why are you making him panic? Minister, platform 11, 10, and 9, they are dedicated to go to that line, which we call the main line. So Belleville now, you no longer stand on platform 4. So if you want to go to Sarepta, now go to platform 9. So there is a platform for each and every service. So this is the heavy lifting work that we did at Belleville Station. Yeah, no, we are there, we are there. I don't have to sing. I was going to do idols. There's no survival here. Ma'am?
If you want to go to Sarepta, you go on platform 9. Platform 9 used to be
So now we have 3 lines. What we do, Minister, between Belleville and Maitland in the morning, because everybody is going that way, we then take the first line and the third line that is going through platform 6. The signals are facing Capetown. So when we come back in the evening, this last line, the signals will face this way, because we installed a bi-directional line so that we can increase capacity. Now, those that are using the line, you know that a strand train used to come. When it is in the front, the Wellington train will stand somewhere here in the station to give this train time to go forward. Nah, we don't do that anymore. The strand train will be driving at the bottom and the Kraaifontein train will be driving on top. So we now have 3 lines that 2 of them are able to bring you in. That is the change that we have done here at this station. It's another signal. I think it's one more. It's manual, sir. It's manual. Just to be brought into the station. From here, I think it was the town. This is the last one into the platform. Then we should be fine. Belleville Station, Minister. Absolutely. Then the Belleville Station itself, you will see there's a little bit of revamp. There's, of course, a little bit of paint work that we need to do, but the station is solid. Lighting, everything. You will see as we disembark at the station.
That is the honeymoon you are promising. In today's journey. I've got Belleville for you.
Yes. No. It was this stage.
Have you been to Nigeria? When you get to Nigeria in Lagos, there's water everywhere and it's filthy.
Yes.
They are switched off that thing.
Yes.
And then you ask a Nigerian, it is filthy.
Yes.